Ever wondered how a seemingly harmless prescription drug can turn into a life-altering addiction? Well, let's talk about that. Benzodiazepines, often referred to simply as benzos, are a class of drugs typically prescribed to manage a variety of conditions, including anxiety and insomnia. They work by slowing down the central nervous system, bringing about a sense of calm and relaxation. But like every coin that has two sides, there's a darker aspect to these seemingly beneficial medications. When misused, benzos can lead to a dangerous and potentially devastating addiction. Whether it's upping the dose without a doctor's approval or using the drug recreationally for its tranquilizing effects, misuse can set a person on a path to dependency. This dependency, both physical and psychological, is what we call addiction. And with benzos, it's a slippery slope. This leads us to the question, how does benzodiazepines addiction occur? To understand addiction, we need to delve into the science behind it. So let's take a closer look at the inner workings of benzodiazepines and their influence on the human brain. Benzodiazepines, often casually referred to as benzos, are a class of drugs primarily used for treating anxiety and insomnia due to their tranquilizing effects. They work by interacting with the brain's neurotransmitters, specifically the gamma-aminobutyric acid, or GABA for short. GABA is the brain's major inhibitory neurotransmitter, which means it reduces brain activity. When benzodiazepines enter the system, they enhance the effects of GABA, resulting in a feeling of calmness and relaxation. This is why the drug is so effective in treating conditions related to overactivity in the brain, such as anxiety. However, this soothing effect can become a double-edged sword. With repeated use, the brain starts to adapt to the presence of benzodiazepines. It begins to produce less GABA naturally, relying more and more on the drug to maintain a state of calm. This is where the problem starts. The brain's newfound dependency on benzodiazepines to perform a function it was once capable of doing on its own leads to a cycle of use and withdrawal. When the drug wears off, the brain struggles to maintain calmness, triggering withdrawal symptoms like anxiety, restlessness, and insomnia. This discomfort often promotes further use of the drug, creating a vicious cycle that can spiral into addiction. To put it simply, the brain gets tricked into believing it needs benzodiazepines to function normally. And this is why breaking free from benzodiazepines can be challenging. It's not just about willpower, it's about rewiring the brain to naturally produce what it needs for a state of calm and relaxation. So now that we understand the science, what are the main points about benzodiazepines addiction? Benzodiazepines addiction is a complex issue with numerous facets. Benzodiazepines, often referred to as benzos, are a class of psychoactive drugs. They're commonly prescribed for conditions like anxiety and insomnia, but misuse can lead to addiction. The prevalence of benzodiazepines addiction is alarmingly high, with millions of prescriptions written each year. However, it's not just the sheer number of prescriptions that's concerning. It's the fact that many people become dependent on these drugs over time. This dependence can develop even when the medication is used as prescribed. Long-term use of benzodiazepines can lead to tolerance, where more of the drug is required to achieve the same effects and ultimately to addiction. The risks associated with long-term use are significant. Apart from addiction, benzodiazepines have been linked to a range of physical and mental health issues. These include memory problems, depression, and increased risk of suicide. Furthermore, the risk of overdose is high, particularly when benzodiazepines are mixed with other substances like alcohol. Overcoming benzodiazepines addiction can be a daunting task. Withdrawal symptoms can be severe and may include anxiety, restlessness, and in some cases, seizures. This is why it's essential that anyone attempting to stop using benzodiazepines does so under the guidance of a medical professional. It's also important to note that addiction doesn't discriminate. It can affect anyone regardless of age, gender, or socioeconomic status. This is why education and awareness about the risks associated with benzodiazepines use are so crucial. In the end, understanding the complexity of benzodiazepines addiction is the first step towards addressing it. It's a multifaceted issue that requires a comprehensive approach. This includes prevention efforts, appropriate prescribing practices, and effective treatment options for those who are already struggling with addiction. With such a complex issue, one might wonder, what are the signs of benzodiazepines addiction? Early detection can be a lifesaver when it comes to addiction. As we delve deeper into the world of benzodiazepines addiction, it becomes essential to recognize the signs, both physical and behavioral, that could indicate a problem. The physical symptoms are often the first to appear. You might notice excessive sleepiness or lethargy, slurred speech, lack of coordination, or even uncontrolled eye movements. These signs can be subtle, but they are telltale indicators that something is amiss. However, physical signs are just one part of the story. Behavioral changes often accompany benzodiazepines addiction too. Changes can range from a sudden loss of interest in hobbies or activities that were once enjoyed to a shift in mood or attitude. You might notice the person becoming more secretive or isolating themselves from friends and family. They might also exhibit a heightened sensitivity to normal sights, sounds, or emotions, or display a significant change in personal grooming or physical appearance. It's important to remember that addiction doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process, often so slow that it's easy to overlook the signs until they become more pronounced. This is why vigilance and awareness are so crucial. If you're worried about a loved one, don't hesitate to reach out and express your concerns. It might be uncomfortable, but it could also be the wake-up call they need. The key to recognizing benzodiazepines addiction is understanding that it's more than just a physical dependency. It's a complex interplay of psychological and social factors. It's about how the drug affects the person's life, their relationships, their self-esteem, and their sense of self-worth. Remember, no one chooses to become addicted. It's a struggle, a battle against an unseen enemy. But it's a battle that can be won with the right help and support. Recognizing these signs is the first step. But what about overcoming addiction? Overcoming addiction is a journey that requires determination and professional help. When it comes to overcoming benzodiazepines addiction, it's crucial to remember that this journey is not one you need to embark on alone. Professional help is not just recommended, it's essential. Medical professionals can provide the necessary support and guidance through the process, ensuring safety and efficacy. The first step in this journey is typically detoxification. This process involves gradually reducing the dosage of the drug under medical supervision to manage the withdrawal symptoms. Detoxification from benzodiazepines must be done slowly and carefully, as abrupt cessation can lead to severe withdrawal symptoms, including seizures and psychosis. Remember, detoxification is a medical process and should never be attempted without the guidance of a healthcare professional. Following detoxification, therapy plays a vital role in the recovery process. Cognitive behavioral therapy, in particular, has proven to be highly effective in treating benzodiazepines addiction. It helps individuals to understand their addiction, identify triggers, and develop coping strategies. Therapy provides the tools needed to manage cravings, resist relapse, and ultimately lead a drug-free life. Support groups can also be an invaluable resource on the road to recovery. These groups provide a safe and supportive environment where individuals can share their experiences, learn from others who are in the same situation, and gain encouragement and motivation. The power of shared experiences can be incredibly healing and empowering. While it's important to acknowledge that overcoming addiction is a challenging journey, it's equally important to remember that recovery is absolutely possible. Thousands of people have walked this path before you, and with the right help and support, you too can overcome benzodiazepines addiction. Remember, recovery is a journey, not a destination. It takes time and patience, but it is absolutely possible. Benzodiazepines addiction is a serious issue, but there is always hope. With this thought, let's wrap up our discussion. We've delved into the science behind this addiction, highlighted key facts, and provided insights into recognizing it. It's imperative to understand that addiction is not a symbol of weakness, but a complex health issue that requires professional help to overcome. Never hesitate to seek assistance. There are numerous resources available, from medical professionals to support groups, all equipped to guide you or your loved ones on the path to recovery. And remember, sharing is caring. If this video has been enlightening, consider passing it on. You never know who might find it helpful. In the battle against benzodiazepines addiction, knowledge and awareness are your greatest allies. Equip yourself with these tools and you're already on the path to overcoming this challenge. With knowledge, awareness, and professional help, overcoming benzodiazepines addiction is achievable. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and remember, you're not alone in this fight. Subscribe and don't forget to take care of yourselves. Bye!